Hi, Sal Saberna with Reach Youth Global with a devotional thought for this Christmas. Whose child is this? Well, the wise men that we know of in the Bible really believed that the child, Jesus, was very special. Went a long way to find him. And upon finding him, listen to what they did. Matthew chapter number 2. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary. They bowed down and worshiped him. Then they opened up their treasures. Not just a little bit, a lot. This was a lot of treasure. And presented him with gifts of gold and of incense and of myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route. Now, I don't want to sound sacrilegious, but I've often asked myself this question, and maybe you have. What happened to that money? That's a lot of money. When the Bible says treasures, it literally means heaps of treasures. This wasn't a small amount of money. This was a pretty large amount of money. And so I did a little bit of research, and obviously the thing that first comes to your mind is, well, right after that, Herod tried to kill all the children that were 2 years and younger, hoping that he would get rid of Jesus. And so I'm sure they took a majority portion of that money, had to travel to Egypt, stayed there a couple years, had to live, didn't know anybody, so I'm sure that was expensive, but that doesn't really make up for all of it. And so I did a little bit of thinking. I mean, they're a poor family. And they're from Nazareth, on the outside of civilization, basically. When Mary gave birth to Jesus, they couldn't find a room for him. If they did, they couldn't afford a room. He was born in a stall, and then they wrapped him in rags, basically. Didn't even have enough money to get him a onesie. And even when they presented him at the temple for his purification, the Jewish rite, they sacrificed 2 turtle doves, which is the cheapest and the poorest offering a poor person can bring. So they didn't have any money. So how did Jesus then, as he grew in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man, how did he understand and know so much? Obviously his deity portion of his life, God-man, knew that, but how did he develop as a child? As a child, he had to be trained. He had to be educated. Even then, that cost money, especially the way that Jesus was educated, so that he could confound scribes and Pharisees and priests at 12 years of age. Do you know where I believe that money came from? I believe that money came from the wise men. And I believe that Joseph, his stepdad, and Mary, his mother, knew the promises about Jesus, that he was special and he was going to be great one day, and the government was going to rest upon his shoulders, and he was going to save his people from their sins. And so they believed, with that much potential, let's do everything we can to help Jesus reach that potential. That's where the wise men came in, and God provided for that. And I want to tell you, there are good parents all over the world who believe in their children but are so poor they can't send them to school. Except for this little guy here named Neville. Neville attends our elementary school in Wakisa, Uganda. And for $30 a month, $1 a day, Neville has a school uniform, books, tuition, and 2 meals every day. So he's not hungry when he studies. And before Neville came to our school, Neville couldn't spell the word dream. But now Neville's dream? His dream is to be a doctor. Do you know why that happened? Because of you. Because of your generous offering of $30 a month, Neville goes to school. And one day, hopefully, he's going to be a doctor in Uganda. So much like the wise men, much like the stepfather and the mother of Jesus, Mary and Joseph, these parents saw the potential in their child. Their only problem is they were poor, much like Mary and Joseph. And if it wasn't for the provision of the wise men giving that first Christmas as generously as they did, maybe Jesus wouldn't have had the opportunity that he had growing up as a young boy. I can tell you for sure, this young man, Neville, would have not had the opportunity that he has now. You have given him hope and a dream for a better future. And so I want to say thank you. And I challenge you, click on the link that you see, and please give generously so that we can support more kids just like Neville, $30 a month, $1 a day. It'll be the wisest giving you gave during this Christmas season. Thank you so much for all that you do. We're so grateful. Thank you for supporting children like Neville. And on behalf of all of us at Reach Youth Global, Merry Christmas and God bless you.